Hi everyone, it's Justine, and today we're talking about denim. I own several pairs of jeans, I'm sure you do too. While jeans are a timeless garment, jeans shapes vary a lot based on trends. And actually, you should pick your jeans based on your body type rather than trends. So let's see which jeans work well for which body type so you know what will be flattering for you. And I'll also give you some tips for when you go denim shopping. Before we start, there are 5 main body types: pear, inverted triangle, apple, hourglass, and rectangle. If you don't know what you are, watch my video to help you find out which body type you have. It's linked here in the card and down below in the video description. Okay, now I have 7 pairs of jeans to try on. Let's see what works for whom. First, skinny jeans. Here I chose black. Skinny jeans typically are 7/8 length, so ankle length, and this one is mid-rise. Always stretchy, we need that to be able to put it on and to pull it up. First off, I feel like mid-rise is nicer than low-rise because skinny jeans are tight, and so when you sit down with the low-rise, the belly pops up, bloop. Which is why if you're an apple, skinny jeans are uncomfortable because they're tight at the waist. This shape will look good on you if you're an hourglass and you enjoy highlighting your curves. Good for a rectangle as well. If you're an inverted triangle, skinny jeans will show that your hips are narrow compared to your bust and shoulders. Just know that. If you're a pear, skinny jeans show that your widest point is at the hip level. If you like your hips, that's good. If you'd rather balance out your proportions a bit, combine skinny jeans with a top that adds ruffles, volume, drapery, extra fabric somehow to make your upper body look wider, bigger. And this visual trick makes you look like an hourglass, which is a coveted silhouette at the moment. Kardashians, anyone? Slim straight. This is your classic blue jean shape, pretty much timeless. Can be combined with the blazer and heels to look chic and not basic, or styled down with sneakers. It's not the right day to wear a wool blazer. I'm gonna take it off real fast or else I will melt. This looks not good, but great on you if you're a rectangle. That's why it's the models of the runway uniform. Models are typically very slim rectangles. Now, good also if you're an hourglass or inverted triangle. I find that for inverted triangles, slim straight is better than skinny, because when I talk to women who are inverted triangles, they often tell me that they find their hips and legs too narrow compared to their upper bodies. Well, a slim straight shape helps bring that balance. For pears and apples, we can do better. We'll get there in a minute. Straight leg. This cut is full length, high-waisted, fitted, important for the look. This is the best cut if you're an hourglass, the best cut. It also works well for pears, apples, rectangles, and inverted triangles, aka for everyone. That's why it's a classic, timeless cut. This is a shape you can also wear in any situation, professional, social, or casual. Moving on to boyfriend's jeans. There are specific requirements. They should look worn out, used from sitting in them and at the thighs, not too clean. What does that tell us about our society's perception of boyfriends? I'm not sure, we shall discuss in the comments. Definitely old and too big for you. So you had to roll the hem up and you're typically holding the jeans in place with the rope because the boyfriend's closet did not include a belt of your size. As I said, specific requirements. Great for inverted triangles, especially if it's 2 sizes too big for you. The point of boyfriend jeans is that they do not fit you. Good for a rectangle, good for an apple, good for an hourglass. I want to say not great for pears who don't want extra volume around the hips. Listen, style is always tricky because one pair women says, I don't like my hips, they're too big. And another pair women will say, I have curvy hips and I love them. So I explain the proportions, what each jean shape does, and then you can pick and choose. Now, I do need to mention the fact that boyfriend jeans, because they look lived in and used, have a certain personality. If your style includes some grunge inspiration, go for it. Personally, I'd style boyfriend jeans with very feminine and colorful shoes for good measure. Wide leg. This is a cut you can really wear casually. I wear mine typically with sneakers. It's probably the most comfortable cut I own. Don't mind the white lines, it's from washing them. I like the touch it gives. Wide leg jeans are great if you're an apple. Good if you're a pear, good if you're an hourglass. Good if you're an inverted triangle. It makes your waist look tiny and fabulous. Note that it should be a bit loose at the waist level, which also makes it much more comfortable than skinny jeans. I would probably say stay away if you're a rectangle, because this cut makes you look sort of bottom heavy, if you see what I mean. The barrel. This is the new kid on the block, the current Gen Z favorite. Here the side seams are moved toward the front, which is why you see the fold line on each side. The intended silhouette is that of a cowboy, U-shaped as they say in German, and yes, it looks like the contours of a barrel. It's good for inverted triangles to balance out broad shoulders. It's okay if you're an hourglass. Basically, it adds volume to the legs, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're a pear, a rectangle, or an apple. For me personally, I don't think it builds a flattering silhouette since I'm a pear. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. And since we're speaking of the pear body type, here comes the bootcut. In the 90s, bootcut jeans were low-rise, so you had to hold them up when sitting down. Thankfully, that's over. This one is higher at the back, which makes so much sense, especially if you have a curvy bum. Even better, this design is adjustable at the waist level. Very clever. Note that bootcuts are often longer than full length, which elongates the leg. Bonus points if you add wedged shoes for extra length. My specialty. And since they flare towards the bottom, it balances out the wide hips, as I said. Perfect for pears. Also good for rectangle and hourglasses. For apples and inverted triangles, I do find other cuts more flattering. Now, when you choose a pair of jeans, I should also mention the fabric. First, the composition. Stretchy and thin, like skinny jeans, means that they're more flexible, yes, but they also rip sooner, especially in friction areas, where your thighs touch, where your bum touches the chair, etc. Whereas 100% cotton and heavier weight, for instance with the slim straight cut or the boot cut I showed you, that typically lasts longer, you get more wear out of it. And also, thicker fabric hides cellulite. Nobody talks about this. Here you go. Then the color of the denim is important too. Producing and dyeing jeans usually costs lots of water. It's between 2,000 and 4,000 liters of water per pair of jeans. The good thing is that you as a consumer can avoid some of that water pollution by wearing your jeans 10 times before washing them. That's a guideline. Do you wear your jeans 10 times before you wash them? Be honest. And then the finishing matters too when you're considering jeans to purchase. They can be stone washed, they can be bleached, and so chemicals are used to remove some of the dye that has just been added. Boyfriend jeans. In a nutshell, jeans production until now has not been environmentally friendly, but the law is evolving as we speak and factories are adapting.
Hi, I'm Amber Valletta. I'm a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Environment Program. We are working to make the denim industry more sustainable. I'll let Justine explain more.
Thanks, Amber. The United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, has chosen to focus on helping the denim industry transition because it's a big category of fashion and a quite polluting one, so there's a lot to gain there. UNEP works with governments and companies to help them shift towards more circularity and sustainability. That means using less water, fewer chemicals, more renewable energy, building wastewater systems, using recycled materials, and being more transparent about the whole process. You might have heard of the Digital Product Passport, which is coming to Europe in the next couple of years. It's a mandatory QR code inside garments, documenting where each element is sourced, manufactured. It helps you as the consumer know where your garment was made and its environmental footprint. Also, some factories are now upcycling fabric scraps to create new garments. Some factories have started to use laser technology to distress the surface in specific areas instead of using bleach. Dye can now also be faded in ozone machines that use little or no water at all. Really good development. By the way, the UNEP Textiles program is in part funded by the EU. So if you're based in Europe, your tax money is contributing to transforming the industry, and it will save the planet a huge amount of pollution. Yay, right? I'd like to thank UNEP for sponsoring this video. They've also just published a short documentary on their YouTube to show how denim production looks like in factories in Tunisia. Tunisia is a big production hub for the denim sold in Europe. Super interesting to see what's happening behind the scenes. I highly recommend you go watch the film. I'll put the link here in the little card and down below in the video description. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video concept of trying on clothes so we can properly see, compare and discuss proportions. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.